5 days after the audit, the corrective action file came back, signed, stamped, closed. 5 weeks later, the same finding was back on the same site. Different truck, same broken chain. Most corrective actions don't fail because nobody cared. They fail because the fix attacked the symptom and left the cause standing. So today, one real NCR, a nonconformity report, the record a site raises when a requirement is breached, followed from raised to verified closed. 6 steps: real documents, real dates, real evidence. And later, when we reach verification, I'll give you the one question that reopens more closed NCRs than any other. Let's close this one properly.
Start with the words, because closure depends on them. A nonconformity is the non-fulfillment of a requirement. In plain terms, something the rules said must happen, didn't. The requirement can come from 4 directions: the law, your permit conditions, the client's environmental plan, the CESMP, or your own EMS procedures. That last one catches people. Write a rule for yourself, and an auditor can hold you to it. Self-imposed requirements breach exactly like regulations do. The NCR is the record, and it carries 3 parts: criteria breached, objective evidence, finding statement. Miss one, and it won't survive the closing meeting. And an NCR names a process failure, never a person. The moment it becomes a blame document, people stop reporting. Correction starts the same day. Closure takes the full Clause 10.2 cycle. That cycle is next. 2 terms get confused on every site, and the confusion is exactly why NCRs reopen. Correction fixes the instance you found. Clause 10.2a, take action to control and correct it and deal with the consequences. Relabel the drum, stop the truck, today. Corrective action is different. 10.2b, eliminate the cause so it cannot recur and cannot occur anywhere else. Then the cycle completes in 3 moves. C, implement the actions. D, verify they actually worked. E, change the management system itself, if that's where the cause lives. And the named distinction most people miss: preventive action is gone. Deleted as a clause back in 2015, absorbed into risk-based thinking, Clause 6.1. If your form still has a preventive action box quoting the old clause, you're auditing 2004 vocabulary on a 2026 system. 1 finding, 2 timelines. Correction in hours, corrective action in weeks.
So when is an NCR allowed to close? One rule above all: closure needs evidence of effectiveness, not evidence of activity. Clause 10.2d says review the effectiveness of the corrective action. That's the gate, which means 2 different verifications, and they are not interchangeable. Implementation verification asks, did the action happen? Effectiveness verification asks, did it work? Different questions, different dates. Because effectiveness needs elapsed time. You verify after the process has run again, not the afternoon the training finished. And a boundary worth knowing: major and minor grading isn't in ISO 14001 at all. It's certification body practice under ISO 17021. For a major, that usually means root cause and an accepted plan on the table before any certificate decision stands.
You remember this one. The audit traced one waste transfer note and found a receiving facility whose permit never covered the waste code. Graded major. Today, we close it. Once. Step 1. Correction and containment, the same day the finding lands. First move, quarantine the stream. Transfers to that facility stop immediately, and the stop goes out in writing, an instruction someone can be held to. Second, deal with the consequences, and that's a clause requirement, 10.2a2. Trace every load already tipped there, Establish where the waste physically went. And if the breach is notifiable, the regulator hears it from you, not from someone else. Third, the correction goes on to the NCR itself. Date, action, owner. The evidence file starts on day 1, not the week before closure. But hold the line here. Correction is not closure. The finding stays open because the cause hasn't been touched yet.
Step 2. Root cause. And here's the discipline. Ask why until you reach a cause the organization controls. Then stop. Why did waste go to a non-permitted facility? Because the approved vendor list was outdated. Why outdated? Because the list had no review owner. Why no owner? Because a procurement change was never managed into the system. That's the actionable root, a cause the company can fix with a decision. Now, the trap. Human error is never a root cause. It's the point where the analysis gave up. For multi-factor findings, switch to a fishbone diagram. Method, machine, material, people, environment, measurement. So you check every direction, not just the first. And the one-sentence test I promised. A root cause must be falsifiable. If you can't design a check that could prove it wrong, you'll never be able to verify the fix worked. Step 3. The step most programs skip, the extent check. Clause 10.2b3. Determine whether similar nonconformities exist or could potentially occur. Not just here, anywhere the same cause reaches. Our cause is an outdated vendor list, and that's a company-wide document, so the sweep goes wide. Every waste stream, checked against every receiving permit, every site using that list. Site B finds the same gap, corrected on the spot. Site D finds a near miss, corrected before it lands. Those parallel corrections are evidence of your corrective action working. Record the sweep itself, because auditors test a closure by looking where you didn't. Step 4. The plan, and every row of it traces back to the root cause. An action that only fixes the instance belongs back under correction. The plan is for the cause. So, assign an owner to the vendor list with a quarterly review cycle. Put a permit check gate in front of any new carrier, and amend the procurement procedure itself, because clause 10.2e says change the management system if that's where the cause lives. Every entry checkable, action, named owner, due date, and the evidence you expect at completion, written before approval. If the evidence column is empty when the plan is signed, verification is already impossible. Grading drives pace. A majors plan lands in days with evidence before certificate decisions. And the plan is approved by someone independent of the function that failed. Step 5. Implementation and the evidence file that proves it. For this NCR, that file holds 4 things: the revised procedure with its revision number, the updated vendor list, the briefing records for everyone who uses it, and the new permit check log, already in use. Now the arithmetic auditors actually check. Dates must sequence. Evidence dated after the action. Verification dated after the evidence. If the training record predates the procedure revision, someone's file is fiction. A photograph earns its place with 3 things: date, location, subject. An undated photo proves nothing. And remember the audit video. Attendance proves attendance, not competence. A signed sheet plus a short Q&A record survives challenge. 1 evidence file per NCR. Every item referenced to the NCR number. Step 6. Verification and the question I promised you. Has the process actually run since your fix? And did anyone look? That's the question that reopens more closed NCRs than any other. Effectiveness needs the process to happen again, live. So we wait for real transfers, and then we rerun the exact audit trail that caught the finding. Carrier, facility permit, tipping receipt, fresh notes, fresh links. 4 intact links. That's effectiveness you can evidence. Clause 10.2d, satisfied. Recurrence anywhere? Then the fix failed. Reopen it, or raise a linked NCR citing the first. Closure is signed by someone independent of implementation. Impartiality again. And closed NCRs aren't filed and forgotten. They trend into management review, clause 9.3, where the system learns. 6 steps. The NCR is closed, and it stays closed.
4 closures that will not survive an audit. 1. Symptom closure. The correction was filed as the corrective action. Cause untouched. Recurrence isn't a risk, it's scheduled. 2. The human error route. Retraining ordered, system unchanged. The analysis stopped 1Y too early. 3. Closed on the plan. Action still in progress on the closure date. 10.2d never happened. 4. No extent check. The same cause fails on the next site because nobody looked wider. Score your own register against these 4. Quietly. Then fix what you find.
Now the 2026 angle, because this playlist lives in the transition. First, the reassurance. Clause 10.2 survives into ISO 14001-2026, published this April. The corrective action duties you just learned are substantively unchanged. What did move? The old standalone 10.1, general, is gone, and Clause 10 has been consolidated. So check your procedures cross-references before your transition audit does. The records language tightened too. Evidence must be available as documented information. Available, not merely existing somewhere. If it takes 3 phone calls to find, expect the question. You have until May 2029, and certification bodies will sample NCR files as transition evidence. The trap? Procedures quoting 2015 clause numbers verbatim become documentation findings at transition audits. Renumber once, properly, and verify against the published text, not a summary. Closed once, closed forever. Look at this yard now. An NCR that never comes back is the only kind that was ever really closed. Before you close any NCR, 5 checks. 1. Does the action attack the cause or just the instance you happen to find? 2. Did anyone check for the same cause elsewhere and record the sweep? 3. Is every evidence item dated, referenced, and in verifiable sequence? 4. Has the process actually run since the fix and been retested against the original trail? 5. Is the person closing it independent of the person who implemented it? 5 yeses? Close it with confidence. 1 no? It isn't closed. It's paused. Screenshot this. It's your closure gate. Every corrective action in this video answered to a requirement, legal, permit, or self-imposed. Next in the playlist, the Environmental Legal Compliance Register. How those requirements get identified, tracked, and kept current, so your system knows what it answers to. Subscribe so it reaches you. EnviroVerge. Environmental knowledge, field ready.